Why not give? Okay. Congress is back in session. We're still on discussion of Standing Committee Report 20-54. Any further discussion?
Question.
Questions being called for. If there's no objection, debate is closed. Let's vote. Those in favor of the adoption of Standing Committee Report number 20-54 say yes. Opposed no. Motion carried. Standing Committee Report number 20-54 is adopted by Congress. Next report.
Mr. Speaker, for more reports, we have waiting list number 20-29.
Short recess. Congress back in session. We're still on the Standing Committee Report calendar. Chairman Perman.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Good morning to you, Vice, members, and all that are observing our session this morning. Mr. Speaker, I would like to make a motion to withdraw and place Standing Committee Report number 20-61 on our Standing Committee Report.
And second, it's moved and seconded that Standing Committee Report number 20-61 be placed on the Standing Committee Report calendar for action. For Leader Herbert.
Mr. Speaker, I move to suspend any rules that may impede our action on the said report.
It's moved and seconded that any relevant rules, specifically the rule requiring 24 awaiting period for reports be suspended. Those in favor say yes. Opposed no. Motion carried. The relevant rules are suspended. So those in favor of the placement of Standing Committee Report number 20-61 on the Standing Committee Report calendar say yes. Opposed no. Motion carried. Said report is placed. Chairman Perman.
Thank you. Motion to adopt the said report 20-61.
Second. It's moved and seconded that Congress adopt Standing Committee Report number 20-61. Discussion.
Speaker.
Chairman Perman.
Yeah, thank you very much, Speaker. I believe that I guess all members have gone through the report and get an idea of the proposed budget of FY19. Approximately about $800,000 was less than the previous FY18. So it sums up to $2,364,917. Much of this decrease, Mr. Speaker, was in Section 9 under project. Funding to support scholarship for our students going into health-related field was moved to education. The electronic data records project need to be evaluated success of previous projects before dedicating more money. And if you all know that most of the grants coming in, it's for data collection and all of these. So, youth sport project and rheumatic heart project based. This one was also deleted because we've given them on our last session a $90,000 for the same purpose, and that money hasn't been applicated yet. So we want them to use that money before they're asking for extra funding on that one. The awareness and the campaign training was also declined of the U.S. grants, because the result is, like I said, that we need more information on those because they already have those projects ongoing. The what's added on to the report, if you notice under environment, that's the three new positions, and basically this is the one for the or our exporting of tuna to the EU's. So they already have two people working in Chuk. So they've been asking it for the past 3 years. So the committee decided to let them have the three more, so we can raise our standard on exporting fish to the EU countries. And of course, there's another increase is a new position for the National Archives. So we have an archivist. They've been also asking this for the past 2 years. So the committee decided to also help them out on this one. And if I don't touch anything, I please ask members of the committee to also try to help out on this report. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much, Chairman Berman, for the summary of the report. Any further discussion from members of the HSA committee? From members? If none, there's no objection. Discussion will be closed. So let's vote. Those in favor of the adoption of Standing Committee Report number 20-61 say yes. Votes no. Motion carried. Standing Committee Report number 20-61 is adopted by Congress. Next report. Chief Clerk.
There are none, Mr. Speaker.
Short recess, Mr. Speaker.
Short recess, subject to call of the chair. Congress back in session. Any more report, Chief Clerk?
Mr. Speaker, we still have the waiting list 20-29.
Okay, take a look at that, members. Item 15.
Item 15, special committee reports. None, Mr. Speaker.
Item 16.
Item 16, assignment of measures and communications. We have a referral sheet number 20-63.
Chairman and members, take a look at that for your planning purposes. Next item.
Item 17, unfinished business. None.
Next item. Bill calendar.
Item 18, bill calendar. The first bill is CB number 20-165 for second reading. CB number 20-165 is a bill for an act to further amend Public Law number 19-64 as amended by Public Laws numbers 19-81, 19-97, 19-120, 19-137, and 20-29 by amending sections 1 and 2 thereof to change the use, allotee, and lapse date of funds previously appropriated therein for the purpose of funding public projects and social programs in Pohnpei State, to correct technical errors and for other purposes.
Chairman Figueroa.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move for the passage of the bill on second and final reading.
It's moved and seconded that Congress pass on second and final reading CP number 20-165. Discussion. Chairman, Vice Chairman Net. Short recess, subject to call of the chair. back in session. We're still on discussion of CP number 20-165. Chairman Alick.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Good morning.
Yes, good
Yes,
morning.
I have a floor amendment to hover to CP number 20-165, and copies, I believe, have been circulated. I move to dispense with the reading of the amendment as it is a long one. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Chairman Alick. If there is no objection, we will dispense with its reading because of its length. There is an offer for amendment which has been moved for adoption to CP 20-165, offered by Senator Alick. Floor Leader Harper, any motion to suspend?
Again, Mr. Speaker, I move to suspend any relevant rule that may impede our action on the proposed amendment offered by Honorable Alick.
Any second? Moved and seconded that any relevant rule, specifically the rule prohibiting substantive amendments on second and final reading, be suspended. Those in favor say yes. Opposed, no. Motion carried. The relevant rules are now suspended. We're still on discussion of the offered for amendments. Any discussion? If none, there is no objection. Discussion is closed on the offer for amendments. So let's vote. Those in favor of its adoption say yes. Opposed, nay. Motion carried. Said offer for amendment is adopted. We now have CD1. Any further discussion on CD1? If none, there is no objection. Discussion is closed. So let's vote by roll call of delegations.
State of Chuuk, Chairman Aritos. State of Pohnpei, Chairman Panuelo. State of Kushai, Chairman Willie. State of Yap, Chairman Orsmal. Mr. Speaker, all the 4 states voted in favor.
CP number 20-165 CD1 has passed Congress on second and final reading. Next bill.
Mr. Speaker, we have CP number 20-193 for second reading. CP number 20-193. It's a bill for an act to appropriate the sum of $1.4 million from the general fund of the Federated States of Micronesia for the fiscal year ending September 30, 2018, for the purpose of funding public projects and social programs in the states of, in the states of Yap, Kushai, Pohnpei, and Chuuk, and for other purposes.
Chairman Fagir.
Move for the passage of the said bill on second and final reading.
It's moved and seconded that Congress pass on second and final reading CP number 20-193. Discussion. Any discussion? Chairman Wallet.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I have a written floor amendment I wish to offer to the said bill.
Proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Copies have been circulated to members, and like the other amendment earlier, this is quite lengthy, so I will not ask Chief Clerk to read this amendment, rather move for its adoption. Thank you.
It's moved and seconded that the offer for amendments to CP number 20-193 offered by Chairman Willie be adopted. Because of its length, we will dispense with the reading of it, with its reading. So discussion.
Speaker.
The relevant rules are still suspended up to this point.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
For Leader Harper.
Yeah, I have a oral amendment to offer relating to the written amendment made by Senator Willie. On page 2, item 8, under the small letter A, which says Morlock Vessels Operation, delete all those words and in lieu thereof insert MITA, M-I-T-A, operation. MITA's operation, M-I-T'(S) operation. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Okay, it's moved Any second? It's moved and seconded that the offered oral amendments by Floor Leader Harper to the written floor amendment be adopted. Discussion?
Sure.
Yes?
Do I take it that MRA cannot pay for the operation of the individual that as an employee? That's why we're funding for the operation?
Short recess.
Where
You shouldn't have mentioned. Congress back in session. Any discussion on the offered oral amendments? If none, there's no objection. Discussion is closed. Let's vote on the offered oral amendments. Those in favor say yes. Opposed no. Motion carried. The offered oral amendments are adopted. We now are still on discussion of the floor amendments by Chairman Willie as amended by Floor Leader Harper. Yes,
Mr. Speaker,
Senator Aritos.
I have also an oral amendment to this amendment.
Okay.
On page 3, letter D, fishing project, and delete fishing project and insert humanitarian assistance. So move, Speaker.
It's moved and seconded that the offered oral amendments by Senator Aritos to the written floor amendment be adopted. Discussion? Any discussion? If none, there is no objection. Discussion is closed, so let's vote. Those in favor of the offered oral amendments by Senator Aritos say yes. Opposed no. Motion carried. So the offered oral amendments by Senator Aritos are adopted. We are still in discussion
Speaker.
of the main motion. Senator Chairman Panuelo.
Speaker, I would like to offer a floor amendment to Senator Willie's main floor amendment. And on page 1, item 3, sub-item F, delete Putoy Marine Sanctuary. In lieu thereof, insert medical referral support. Amount remains the same. So move, Mr. Speaker.
It's moved and seconded that the offered oral amendment by Chairman Panuelo be adopted. Discussion? Any discussion? There is no discussion. It's closed, so let's vote. Those in favor of adoption of the offered oral amendments by Chairman Panuelo say yes. Opposed no. Motion carried, so the offered amendments by Chairman Panuelo are adopted. Any further discussion on the main motion?
Speaker?
Yes.
Yeah, thank
Chairman
you very
Ursula.
much, Mr. Speaker. I want to continue the oral amendments here, if I may.
Proceed.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Speaker. On page 1, item 1, after the word students, delete the phrase maintaining a. After the word students, insert in lieu thereof maintain at least 2.0 CPA. So, at least. Maintain at least. And then, after the, continuing on that same phrase where it says full-time, move that 50,000 a little bit over and put period. Because 50,000 and time are very crowded together. And then letter C, after the word Palau, insert, and before the word hospital, insert national. So it will read Palau National Hospital. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I so move.
It's moved and seconded that the offered oral amendments by Chairman Ursmo to the main motion be adopted. Discussion? Any discussion? If none, there's no objection. Discussion is closed. So let's vote. Those in favor of the offered oral amendments by Chairman Ursmo to the main motion, say yes. Opposed, no. Motion carried. The offered oral amendments are adopted. Further discussion on the main motion, Senator Coleman.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I also have an oral amendment I wish to offer.
Proceed.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. On page 2, paragraph 10, letter B, delete housing supplementum and insert Southern Namoneas Leadership Conference in lieu thereof. So move, Mr. Speaker.
It's moved and seconded that the offered oral amendments by Senator Coleman be adopted. Any discussion? If none, there's no objection. Debate is closed. So let's vote. Those in favor of the offered oral amendments by Senator Coleman, say yes. Opposed, no. Motion carried. So the offered amendments are adopted. Any further discussion on the main motion as amended 4 times? Senator, Vice Speaker Moses.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I wish to make an oral amendment to the set.
Proceed.
And then subsection D include Awak and Saladak at the beginning instead of just Saladak. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
It's moved and seconded that the offered oral amendments by Vice Speaker Moses be adopted. Any discussion? If no discussion, let's vote. Those in favor of the offered oral amendments by Vice Speaker Moses, say yes. Opposed, no. Motion carried. The offered oral amendments by Vice Speaker Moses are adopted. We are still on the main motion as amended several times. Any other offered amendments? Discussion on the main motion as amended. If none, there's no further discussion. Debate is closed. So let's vote. Those in favor of the oral the floor amendments to CB 20-193 by Chairman Welly as amended, say yes. Opposed, no. Motion carried. So the offer for amendments to CB 20-193 as amended is adopted. We now have CD1. Any further discussion on CD1?
Question.
Question's been called for. If there's no objection, debate is closed. So let's vote by roll call of delegations. Chief Clerk, call the roll.
State of Chuuk, Chairman Aritos. State of Pohnpei, Chairman Panuelo. State of Kushai, Chairman Wali. State of Yap, Chairman Ursmo. Mr. Speaker, all the 4 states voted for.
For that reason, CB number 20-193 CD1 has passed Congress on second and final reading. Next bill.
Speaker.
Chairman Figueroa, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move to withdraw and place Congress Bill number 20-131 on the bill calendar for action.
It's moved and seconded that CP number 20-131 be withdrawn from committee and placed on the bill calendar for action. Any relevant rules that might impede our actions are still suspended up to this point. So let's vote. Those in favor of the motion say yes. Opposed, no. Motion carried. CP number 20-131 is now withdrawn from committee and placed on the bill calendar for first reading action.
So recess, Mr. Speaker.
Short recess, subject to call of the chair.
Can we have, what is that bill? Where is it?
It's in your packet for today. The bill was introduced since the beginning of this year.
Yes, it should be in your packet,
Yeah.
I believe. Today's packet.
And while we're in recess, I just want to explain after consultation and
We're back in session. Make your motion for passage, Chairman Figueroa.
Figueroa, move for the passage of Congress Bill 20-131 on first reading.
It's moved and seconded that Congress pass on first reading CP number 20-131. Discussion. Questions been called for. There's no objection. Debate is closed. So let's vote by roll call of members.
Senator Alec, Senator Aritos, Senator Figueroa, Senator Coland, Floor Leader Harper, Senator Conman, Vice Speaker Moses,
Yes.
Senator Nath, Senator Banuelo, Senator Perman, Senator Romulo, Senator Ismail, Senator Welly, Speaker Simina.
Yes.
Mr. Speaker, 12 members, 4 to 4.
CP number 20-131 has passed Congress on first reading. Next bill. Clerk,
Mr. Speaker, point of information.
state your point.
So that means if Vice Speaker is acting Speaker for 90 days, then I get compensated as well?
We'll have to seek the legal opinion of our legal people. Yes. Okay, any next bill, Chief Clerk?
There are none, Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Chairman Berman.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Speaker. We'd like to make a motion for us to go back to Standing Committee report.
There is no objection. We will now go back to item 14, Standing Committee report. Chairman Berman, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Now I would like to make a motion to place Standing Committee report 20-62 on our Standing Committee report.
It's moved and seconded that Standing Committee report number 20-62 be placed on the Standing Committee report calendar for action. The relevant rules are still suspended up to this point. So those in favor of the motion say yes. Opposed, no. Motion carried. Standing Committee report number 20-62 is placed. Chairman Berman.
Thank you. Motion to adopt the said report 20-62.
It's moved and seconded that Standing Committee report that Congress adopts Standing Committee report number 20-62. Discussion.
Mr. Speaker.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Just want to let the members know that as of now, because of the decease of Mr. Keller and no representative from Kusai, they're not quorum the board, so they're really asking us if we can act on this. And I would really like the support of all members on this nominee. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman Berman. Any other discussion? If none, yes, Floor Leader Harper.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I must really admit that I did sign on the report just for the sake of making the signature quorum, but I didn't really attend the hearing on the nomination. So what I would like to ask is the procedure of the nominee or nomination from the states. How do they, or who is responsible for submitting the nomination? Is it the office of the president, or is it the state which are submitting?
Short answer, the office of the president.
Okay, yes. Constitutionally, it's the responsibility of the president to submit nominations. With respect to Social Security, it's even more, so, because the law that Social Security law is specific that the president. It has no consultation, but it should be a practice to do so. But
so that's what I'm trying to go after, whether there is no need to consult the state for their nomination.
Chairman Berman, has there been consultation?
Yes, we've actually communicated with the governor and of the Kusai state. But then again, when we looked into the law regarding this, it doesn't really said it in the law that president should consult with the other states. Maybe courtesy, yes, but not to be consulted with them. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Chairman Parman.
And to just add on, Kushai states are here because I'm looking at Chairman Welly and Chairman Alik is also from Kushai, representing Kushai. So I believe I've actually approached them and they're thumbs up, so we're good on that.
Okay, okay. Thank you. Any further discussion on the report? If none, there's no objection. Discussion will be closed. So let's vote. Those in favor of the adoption of Standing Committee Report number 20-62 say yes. Opposed, no. Motion carried. Standing Committee Report number 20-62 is adopted by Congress. Next report.
There are none, Mr. Speaker.
Okay. If there would be no objection, we will now move back down to resolution calendar, item 19. First resolution.
Yeah, Mr. Speaker, the first resolution is Functional Resolution number 20-76 for adoption from your Committee on External Affairs. CR number 20-76 is a resolution approving and accepting a grant in the amount of $45,000 from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the People's Republic of China to the Department of Foreign Affairs of the Federated States of Micronesia, including all the terms and conditions of the assistance.
Chairman Malik.
Thank you. Move for adoption of the said resolution.
It's moved and seconded that Congress adopt resolution number 20-76. Discussion. Any discussion on the resolution? If none,
Mr. Speaker,
yes.
I don't know what the fuss is about this grant here. We get grants coming from U.S. to the Department of Health all the time without no objection from members. So this should be inconsistent with other grants that we receive. So please adopt this.
So what's all the
resolution.
fuss, Chairman Figuer? You have the floor.
Oh, well, I don't know, I shouldn't be the one asked because I always vote against the grant from to the health department because we've been getting all these millions of dollars and no improvement, or if there is very little improvement. They said to eradicate some kind of communicable disease, but those are still going on, especially in my states. So I don't know, but for the Department of Foreign Affairs, although the People's Republic of China has always been our best friend, and the friendship, I believe, is going to continue to be cemented, and it's going to go into the future. But I just think that we should protect our integrity and not accept any other donation into that department. Other departments, I care less. That's where I'm coming from.
Thank you, Chairman Figuer, for your candid explanation of your fuss. Okay, there's no further discussion. Debate is closed, so let's vote. Those in favor of the adoption of resolution number 20-76 say yes. Opposed, no. Motion carried. Resolution number 20-76 is adopted by Congress. Next resolution.
Mr. Speaker, we have Constitutional Resolution number 20-94 for adoption from the Committee on Health and Social Affairs. CR number 20-94 is a resolution to confirm the nomination of Mr. Nena C. Ned to serve as member of the Federated States of Micronesia Social Security Board of Directors, representing the state of Kushai.
Chairman Berman.
Humbly asking members to pass this nomination, so move for its adoption. Thank you.
It's moved and seconded that Congress adopt resolution number 20-94. Discussion. Any discussion? Questions being called for. If there is no objection, debate is closed. This is a confirmation, so that requires 10 votes. So short recess while they hand out the ballots. Chief Clerk, announce the result.
Mr. Speaker, 11 members voted for, 1 against.
For that reason, Mr. Ned has been confirmed to the Social Security Board. Let's give him a round of applause, please. Okay, thank you. So next resolution.
Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Chairman Wally.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move to withdraw and place Congress Resolution number 20-91 on today's resolution calendar for action.
Short recess, Mr. Speaker. Short recess.
Short recess, subject to call of the chair.
Before we
Congress back in session. We're still on a motion to withdraw and place Resolution 20-91. Those in favor of the motion say yes. Opposed, no. Motion carried. Resolution number 20-91 is now placed on the resolution calendar for action. Chairman Perman, Resolution 98, you want to withdraw it? Place it.
Speaker.
Floor Leader Arbor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move to withdraw and place on resolution calendar CR number 20-98 for action.
Okay. It's moved and seconded that resolution number 20-98 be placed on the resolution calendar for action. Those in favor of that motion say yes. Opposed, no. Motion carried. That resolution is also placed. So, Chairman Wale, make motion for adoption.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move for adoption of CR number 20-91.
It's moved and seconded that Congress adopt resolution number 20-91. Discussion. Any discussion? Questions being called for. If there's no objection, debate is closed. So let's vote. Those in favor of the adoption of resolution number 20-91 say yes. Opposed, no. Motion carried. Resolution number 20-91 is adopted. Floor Leader Harper, motion for adoption of 20-98.
I so move, Mr. Speaker.
It's moved and seconded that Congress adopt resolution number 20-98. Discussion. There is no discussion. Debate is closed. So let's vote. Those in favor of the adoption of resolution number 20-98 say yes. Opposed, no. Motion carried. 20-98 is also adopted. Next resolution, Chief Clerk. There is no further resolution. Next item.
Item 20, introduction of bills and resolutions.
If you have any measure for introduction, pass them on to Chief Clerk. Next item.
Item 21, miscellaneous communications. There are none, Mr. Speaker.
Okay, next item, miscellaneous business. Do you have any miscellaneous business? If none, next item is announcement. Chairman Willett.
Thank you. No announcement from your committee on XR.
Thank you, Chairman Willett. Chairman Figuer. Chairman Figuer, any announcement? Okay, no announcement.
Short recess, Mr. Speaker.
Short recess. Congress back in session. Announcement, Vice Chairman Ned. Are you announcing on behalf of TNC or JNCO? Which one? Okay. Okay. Thank you, Vice Chairman Net, for those announcements. Take note, members of those two committees. All right. Chairman Alec.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. No announcement.
Thank you. Chairman Berman.
No announcement, Mr. Speaker.
Chairman Panuelo.
Speaker, no announcement.
Chairman Ursumal.
Just information for members, please hang around so you can sign the committee reports on the budget either today, tomorrow, during the weekend, or on Monday. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman Ursumal. Vice Speaker Moses, you have any announcement? None. Okay. Short recess. Congress back in session. Floor Leader, you have an announcement, then make your motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My motion is that I move that we stand in recess until 10 a.m. Monday morning.
It's moved and seconded that Congress stand in recess until Monday at 10 in the morning. Those in favor of that motion say yes. Opposed, no. Motion carried. Congress now stands in recess until 10 o'clock in the morning of Monday next week.